Alright, so picking up where we left off, we have our type placed in our document, and the way we did that, we went to type, fill with placeholder text, after we created a text box, and now we have this dummy text here. This is Latin text. Alright, and placeholder text, like I said in the previous video, just holds the place for the true articles text. So once you got your dummy text in there, the goal of your magazine is to make it look like a real magazine with your layout and the actual way that your text flows. So what I want you to do, we're going to go in and clean some of this text up. So to do that, we're going to make some paragraphs. So I'm just going to go in and make my paragraphs look a little bit better. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't have uppercase or lowercase. The goal is that when you look at it, it looks like a real body of text. So just seeing that looks a little bit better. It looks like these are actual paragraphs of readable text. So we can take it a step further and play around with our alignment. So to play around with our alignment, you can go to type, paragraph, and this will bring up your alignment options. Okay, you got justified, centered, left justified, right justified. So let's justify it. And like I said in other older videos, if you're not using some of this stuff, you can close out of it. Alright, so there's our type. We aligned it. We made some paragraphs, graphs. It looks like real text. So you want to have those gutters because those spacings are going to make it look like actual text. Alright, so let's finish up our layout. Alright, so every place there is a red rectangle, that is an image. Any place there is a black rectangle, that is text. So I want you to go ahead and finish your layout. And like I said, you're just using those images that you pulled earlier. So I'm going to go through and follow that same layout. So I made a rectangle with my rectangle frame tool that's for images. File place, and where's that flower? And here another example, my image is too big for my frame. Object fitting, fill frame proportionately. Type tool, filling it with placeholder text. Type, fill with placeholder text. Alright, that's justified. Alright, if I want to get in here and make a paragraph, I can make a paragraph. And see, this is okay because it's not actual text. It's not readable text, excuse me. Let me copy and paste. Yeah. Okay. Type. Fill with placeholder text. And if you want to use your images over, that's perfectly fine. I use the rectangle frame tool, file place, and I think I'm gonna use this image. same issue. I want my entire image to show. Object fitting, fill proportionately. And say I didn't want that image, I can click on that same rectangle frame, file, place, and I can swap. I want that image. I can swap that out. Forgot about my text at the top. All right, so once you've got all your images placed, all right, here we created our mock-up layout. We followed that same style over in our page 3, but this time we added images and text to create our layout. All right, so you ready for me to blow your mind? You ready? Hold on to your seat. You ready? All right, we talked about a new shortcut command. You guys got Command T. Command T brings up your character box. Here's another new shortcut command. Once you finish laying your article out, we want to make sure you go to your selection tool, and I want you to press the letter W. Press the letter W. Tell me what it does. What happened? Boom, you just created your very own layout in InDesign. Now, wasn't that easy? How did you do? All right, so W is preview. W will allow you to preview. If you want to exit preview, press W again. But now you guys work through the tutorial. You saw how using your guides and creating a grid helped you to get to this point in creating your very own layout, and why those gutters are important. How'd you guys do? You proud of yourself? I'm proud of you. All right, so let's keep trucking. So some things I want to make you aware of. I'm going to go out of preview mode. Command semicolon turns your guides on, it turns them off. At the very bottom, I want to bring your attention to this. At the very bottom, you see it says 3 errors. This should be green. So anytime if you're working for a major company, and just creating things on your own yourself, you don't want to have errors. So let's see if we can find out what these errors are. So if I double click on errors, it will tell me exactly what's wrong with my file. And see here it says error text 3. So if I click that drop down, it says overset 3. Click the drop down again, it's telling me it's on the type are the text frames. So remember I talked to you guys about this red rectangle? That's what these 3 errors are coming up. So if this is a real article or actual readable text, these are things that you want to look out for. So if I double click it, it will take me directly to where the problem is. And so like I told you guys before, this means that your text box has too much text in it. So if I took this and I pulled it down, you guys can see how that type is running past I have more type in my text box, and you see how it cleared it up. It said 2 errors. So these are the other 2 errors. I'm gonna pull it down so you guys can see it. And then my other error is on the side. So I can get rid of it by cleaning it up, Or I just want you guys to understand what that means so you don't freak out when you're building your magazine, of why it says that you have an error, and you can know how to fix it. It just means that your text, you have too much text for your text box. See, now all my errors are gone and I got the green light, so I'm good to go. All right, so let's finish on out our layout. So when you guys are building your magazines, you're coming up with different articles, different things and subjects you want to talk about in your magazine that's going to go with the overall theme of your magazine. So like I said, if you're doing music, what type of music are you doing? Do you want to showcase hip hop, the grandfathers of hip hop to the new age? That could be a article. Where are the women? How women rappers came in and took over everything. That could be an article. Who's the best rapper? Jay-Z versus Biggie. Those are things that can be within your article, your magazines, that your overall arching theme is music. You get what I'm saying? So if it was fashion, I could talk about the different fashion icons or celebrities who love fashion and how who's the next top designer. All of those could be within that magazine. So in all honesty, this is really how simple your magazine can be. The hardest part about your magazine is coming up with your very own idea, the content, how you want it to look, and your expectations and what you're creating. So I tell my students all the time, the more time you love on your baby and really work on it, the better your outcome is. So even if you guys don't like your cover, or you want to go back and create and add something different on your magazine cover, you can still go back and do that. So if you're not satisfied with how your cover you created in Photoshop, you can go back and fix your cover to make it what you want it to be while you're working on your magazine. So let's continue and work on another layout, because this is the gist of InDesign. So articles. So let's create an article. Actually, I'm going to leave it up to you. I want you guys to fill out or work on these 2 pages. I want to see what you create. So when you turn your work in for this tutorial, I want to see your layout that you've created for these 2 pages. And it's completely up to you. So just to give you guys some styles, I've made a rectangle. Use my rectangle frame. Let me see if I can do this real quickly before my time run out. We'll take their image. I can give it a subtitle, Command T. I can make type, fill with placeholder text. I don't know. I'm running out of time. But I want you to come up with your own layout. This is the tutorial, so I want you guys to play around with different images, placement, work on just moving things around and getting used to the program. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with.